Welcome back. So now we've taken our ganache and put it on our cake, and now we're going to do some cupcake work with our ganache. I really like using the ganache with the cupcakes because it's kind of like a fun little addition to it. Doesn't necessarily have to cover the whole thing, but it's just a fun way to work with it and add a little bit of extra flavor to it. So one thing you can do is you have your already iced little cupcake here with our swirl top. And so we're just going to take a little spoonful, not too much, of the ganache and just kind of drizzle it onto the top of it and let it use those little swirly parts to kind of fall down and drip. And this ganache has kind of gotten a little stiffer, but it will just fall down all around it, and it works out really, really great, and it's really fun, just little great way to add some extra flavor on there. Another thing that you can do if you have the round top swirl type icing, you can actually just dip this onto the top, and then you've got a fun little smooth covered cupcake here, but it still has some of the icing on it, so that works out really great for a smooth top but still having some icing on it. You can also take just your regular cupcake, and this is one of my favorite things to do, and just dip it on there without any icing whatsoever. We're just going to shake off some of it to make sure that it doesn't drip over the sides. Just give it a little shake there. And then I like to put mine, no matter what, on a little paper towel to make sure that, you know, if some of it does drip down, it's not going to drip on my table or whatever. But then you've got a kind of like a chocolate dipped cupcake there, and it turns out so amazingly yummy and everything. And then you can put some icing on top if you want, or just a couple of little decorations or a flower or something, and it's a really yummy, great way to decorate your cupcakes. So like I said, you know, you can leave it there, you can dip another one, you can put icing on top of it. It just works out really great. Some other uses for ganache. I know that some of you are thinking, well, I've heard you can make it into truffles, and you can. So you would just take this simple recipe and refrigerate it. Some people would say overnight. I just say give it at least 4 or 5 hours to stiffen up really well. And then you want to mix it back together so it's kind of like a thick, very thick icing. And you can take a melon baller, or you can use your hands or like a little spoon to scoop some out. You can scoop some out and then roll it into a little ball. You can dip it again into chocolate. You can roll it in nuts. You can roll it in your favorite crushed up candy bar. Lots of different ideas like that, but that works out really great for truffles. I would probably use a little bit extra chocolate in this case so that it gets a little bit firmer. If it's too soft, if it's one-on-one like this recipe is, where it's 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and 1 cup of the chocolate, then it's going to be a little bit on the soft side no matter how long you refrigerate it. So I like to make sure that there's a little bit extra chocolate. I would say like a 1/4 cup extra, or even to a 1/2 cup extra, to make sure it stiffens up a lot, so I can roll it and not have it fall apart or get too sticky in my hands. Yeah, there's just a lot of fun things. After you refrigerate it, you can, you know, make it into truffles. You can put it in your mixer and really whip it, and even add some extra whipping cream to it and make it into a light and fluffy filling for your cakes. It works out as a great filling, and especially if you use like the bittersweet chocolate or something like that, it just gives it that tang, that extra difference between your chocolate cake and the filling, and then your icing on top and everything. It works and blends really, really good. Again, just make sure you try eating some of the pieces of chocolate before you use it to make sure that's the kind you eat, because pretty much that flavor of the chocolate comes through. That's the only flavor that is in this ganache. And so if you don't add anything else to it, that's what you're going to be tasting and eating. You can use flavored liqueurs and candy flavorings and things like that to add to it to make it taste different. Definitely something with an oil based. You don't want to use anything with water to your chocolate. It's going to seize it up really badly. And if it does seize up for some reason, you can buy some Paramount crystals, and it's pretty much just like shortening in crystals form, and you can add it to this. You could add just shortening to it, and that will help soften it back up for you. But you know, if it's just been in the refrigerator, that's not seized up, it's just stiff, so you don't want to add Paramount crystals to that. But in this form, if it did seize up for some reason, you could just add the Paramount crystals and it would work out really great. So I hope you enjoyed our show today. If you have any more questions about Ganache, any failed attempts that you want to ask, you know, what happened here when I did this or something, or please share your successes too. I would really love to see some pictures or hear some great success stories with cake decorating. So you can email me at apieceofcake21@gmail.com. You can go to my website and contact me through there, or whatever you like. So we'll see you next time.